The Constitutional Court's dismissal of Correctional Services' bid to appeal the SCA ruling that former Correctional Services boss Arthur Fraser unlawfully authorized former President Zuma's release on medical parole has raised questions on whether he will have to return to prison. Constitutional law expert Advocate Ben Winks states that the Concord judgment has been misinterpreted. He says the decision is an executive one, meaning the determination will be made by the Commissioner of Correctional Services.
The judgment has, or the result today has been, I think, misinterpreted a bit, because the judgment of the Supreme Court of Appeal contained a line in it saying that President Zuma has not finished serving his sentence, he must return to escort prison. Now, that was a reference to the 15 months to which he had been sentenced. Now, that 15 months has actually passed. The court, the SCA, declined to grant an order that was sought by some of the intervening parties that the time spent on medical parole should not count as part of his 15 months sentence.
Legal analyst Benedict Perry, however, says that Zuma has to return to the correctional facility. In the SCA judgment, the court stated that in law, Zuma had not finished his term and should return to the escort correctional facility. Zuma only served less than 2 months of his 15-month sentence by the time he was released on medical parole. But will the time spent under the unlawfully granted medical parole count towards determining the remainder of his sentence? Perry says this will only be decided after Zuma returns to the facility and then makes such a request.
That would be something for the Commissioner to decide upon request by Mr. Zuma to do so. So certainly the next step is for Mr. Zuma to return to the Escort Correctional Center. Once he's there, then he can apply to the Commissioner to the extent he feels the need to do so. And then only then can the Commissioner take into consideration whether he may release him on whatever basis he may have or whatever power he may have at the time.
Meanwhile, the Jacob Zuma Foundation says Zuma is in Russia for health reasons and will return to the country once his doctors have completed his treatment. Canny, Maphanga, SABC News, Johannesburg.